Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today is November 7th, 2022, and I want to do a training update for week 11 of my build-up for the Perpetual Motion 24-hour race on December 3rd, where I'm hoping to go over 100 miles in the 24 hours. I'm not quite sure if I'm in condition to do that, but I'm gonna give it a whirl. Anyway, I'm training regardless. I went into this past week, so I'm talking about the week ending yesterday, November 6th. I went into this past week a little bit discouraged because I had such a rough time at the Lake Murray trail race, and my back was really bothering me and hurting a lot, my lower back. So this week I put a little bit more emphasis on getting in my strength and mobility sessions. I did 3. I might even ramp that up and do 4 this week, but I need to get it stronger if it's going to withstand anything close to 100 miles on pavement on December 3rd. So we're going to work on that a bit. Anyway, this week I did run a bit more than I have been. I've been saying I was trying to keep it to like 4 days a week, but not too worried if I did 5. Well, this week I actually ran 6 days, but a lot of them were real short, little easy runs. Monday I went out running first time after my Sunday trail race, my Saturday trail race, and I took it a little easy, a little worried about my back, but I did 5.2 miles on Monday. On Tuesday I ran 3.8 miles, and I did my hill sprints at the end of the session, so that was a good run. Tuesday night I went out and ran with my trail running group, the Dallas Dirt Runners, at the Horseshoe Trails in Grapevine. That was fun. It's always fun to go out and see my friends out there. It'll be our last run we got to do without the headlights on, because now with the changing of the clocks it'll be dark by right about the time we're starting that run. So but I'm hoping to go back again tomorrow night and run. On Wednesday I just did a small 3.3 mile run. On Friday I did an 8.6 mile run, and I did that one a little bit harder. I did my hill sprints at the end. I mean, I still wouldn't call it a tempo run or anything like that, but it was at a little bit harder pace for me. And then I did my hill sprints at the end, so I got in both my planned hill sprint sessions for the week. So that was a good run. On Saturday I just went out again. I did the weather was just so nice. I was planning to take Saturday off because Sunday I had Hula Loop, but the weather was just so nice I couldn't resist, so I went out for just a little 3.1 mile run. And then on Sunday I went out and ran the Hula Loop, the final one of the year. Hula Loop is a series of local 6-hour races at local parks in our area that they hold each fall. It's every other weekend and there's 5 of them. So 5 of them in the course of 10 weeks. And the final one for this year was on Sunday. I went into that one actually shooting for, I wanted to build up my confidence a little bit for the 24-hour race. So I was going to try to go a little further this time. Instead of just taking it as a long run and getting in 20 miles or something, I wanted to try to see if I could get in 30 plus. It didn't quite go that well, but I actually felt great this time. The first 3.5 hours I was feeling great. My heart rate was low. I was keeping it in the low 120s, which is really good for me, and my pace was just over 10-minute miles, which is good for me. It was really going well. But about 3.5 hours I noticed my heart rate was starting to creep up. Things were getting more difficult. It was heating up. We started off the day in the mid to upper 50s, and it felt wonderful, but by the end of the 6 hours we were up in the 70s. I think we got up in the mid 70s, so it was definitely heating up, and I struggled in the heat. And we reversed directions after 3 hours. In the second direction we go, the second 3 hours, the hills were a little steeper and more difficult, which also I don't think helped. But regardless, I started not feeling real good probably 3.5 hours in. I kept up the running for another, I don't know, half hour, 45 minutes. And then I really slowed down. I started just running the downhills and walking a lot of the rest. And then the last few loops, I started getting to where I obviously didn't keep up on hydration as well as I should have. And I started cramping every time I would run. So I pretty much just walked the last couple loops, the last 3.3 miles, because it was almost 1.65 per loop. Anyway, I ended up with, on my watch, I had 28.47. My official distance was 27.93. One time I went to the bathroom, and when I came out, I went the wrong direction. I added about a quarter mile, and then probably the other quarter mile extra I had on length was just me not taking the absolutely best tangent, because this course was measured with the measuring wheel, where they always try to take the shortest way the whole way, just like they do when they measure marathons. So you're normally going to read a little bit above on your GPS watch. But anyway, so it wasn't quite what I was hoping for. I felt like if I got 30 plus, I was going to feel fairly more confident that I was going to be in shape for my race here in less than 4 weeks. But the 28 miles was still a pretty good run. It's a very small race, and the guy that's been winning them most weeks actually got himself injured a little bit and was unable to come to this one. I ended up winning this week. So I'll have a picture of my little award. I've done all these races each of the last several falls, but this is the first week I've won a race in probably 3 years, so that was kind of cool, even if it wasn't that fantastic a distance for a 6-hour race. But so that was positive. Actually, I call it a pretty good week. This week I only walked. I usually am between 10 and 15, probably close to 15 miles per week of walking. This week I only walked like 8 miles, but a lot of it was definitely concentrating on a fast walk. I actually set my fastest time ever for a pace walking. It was like a 2.3 mile walk that I did on Monday, and I averaged 12 minutes and 38 seconds per mile, which is I think the fastest pace I've ever done. I actually have figured out, I think I'm a little bit more comfortable even when I'm doing the fast walking if I keep it at more like a 13:30 pace. So I don't know how many times I'm going to try to go faster than that 12:38 again, but And I do think it paid off, because even once I at Hula Loop this week, once I really, the wheels kind of came off, I got overheated and was cramping. My walk was in the 15 to 16 minute range pretty much, which I think is decent considering I was cramping and kind of bonking. Yeah, I would be happy if I kept that sort of pace at perpetual motion during the walking segments. So all in all, I'd say it was a pretty good week. This coming week, I really don't have any specific events or plans. Like I said, I'm hoping to go to the Horseshoe Hustle, the trail run on Tuesday night. I'm hoping to probably run something like a half marathon sort of distance this coming weekend. I'll still try to get in my 2 hill sprints at the end of runs, and I'm going to try to do 3, maybe 4 days of strength and mobility, because I want to try to put a little work into it. I don't want to overdo it and hurt myself, but I want to try to keep upping that a little bit and make sure my back is good for perpetual motion. Anyway, I hope you had a wonderful week. I hope you're getting something useful out of my updates to see how I build up for an event like this. I'm not a high mileage runner, but I'm trying to do it as smart a way as possible. So my totals this week were 56.7 miles of running and about 8 miles of walking. So successful week. Anyway, I hope you had a great week. I hope your running's going well, and keep moving.